This week on Split Screen, a Mainer you know, Tim Sample. He's been making Mainers laugh for decades. We're going to talk to Tim about his incredible career and why Maine is the best place to live. And also, she has been making sure disadvantaged children throughout our state have warm clothing and a Merry Christmas. We'll introduce you to Kristen Sawyer, a Mainer you should know. Legendary Maine humorist Tim Sample is famous for a lot of things. Of course, maybe particularly most that Maine accent. Nobody does it better. He has sold more than 1 million books, albums, videos, and fortunately for us, he continues to make us laugh with his unique look at Maine life. You love Maine.
Why would you? Of course. What's not to love? Pay attention. A lot going on.
What is it about Maine?
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I think it is one of the most complex, intricate, and not easy to pin down sort of demographic mixes. There's a fabric to life in Maine. Mainers and Maine culture, it's very easy to misread and oversimplify what Maine is really about. You don't know really for sure whether that guy behind the counter at the local store with 6 teeth has a PhD from Harvard. You don't know that for sure. And the fact that you don't know is to our advantage. And very few things are more entertaining to a native Mainer than being underestimated. We love that. Go ahead, make my day.
And they continue to do that.
Well, and I've always said, we're famous for the one-liners and the you can't get there from here type stuff. I said, if you sat on the same rural four corners for 40 or 50 years and people are continually coming by and asking you the same question, you can come up with some pretty snappy answers. You get a chance to kind of, dial in your act. But no, Maine is a wonderful place. And the other thing that I think is great about Maine culture, there's a tremendous pride of place. And there's a lot of things that we don't do like you do it wherever you come from, but we kind of like the way we do it here. We have a rhythm and one of the things that keeps Maine this way. When I was growing up, I was born in Aroostook County, but I grew up in Booth Bay Harbor, grew up on the coast. And the worst thing you could say about anything in Maine was, oh, that's just like down to Massachusetts. It was like, that was the failure. That was the failure. No! because it represented a kind of development and a kind of loss of a way of life. Now, of course, times change and the world changes.
All right, Ben, what are we doing here?
Ice road is pretty slippery right now.
Okay, what are we doing?
But there are Fraser kinds of trees.
Frasers?
And then further down the field, most of the trees are balsam fir.
Balsam.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Okay.
So
Tim, do you have a preference?
I like
20 rows.
I like the balsam fir.
Does that scream Maine?
Yeah. Balsam. For you, I pine.
Right.
I even balsam.
So which way? This way? Where are we going? All right. How many rows? 100?
120.
Oh, Lord. Tim, when you're looking for a tree, do you like tall and thin, or do you like the shorter?
I like it fatter. I like it a little more filled out. And
more girth?
I measured in my house. I'm 6'2". Okay. And my tree has got to be about 6'2". What about this one here? What brand is this?
Oh, I don't know. It has to have a full tag, though.
Balsam fir.
Oh, it's got to have a full
or
tag?
Somebody already claimed it.
Yeah. Okay.
Hey, watch that saw. Let's cut my leg off.
This one right in the front.
Oh, this one's nice behind. Oh, that's taken.
This one looks available.
It's got a full. See, what I like about this one, it's got a lot of things sticking out to put
but look,
ornaments on.
I know, but then it's kind of got like a.
Okay, we don't want.
It's got a hole there.
That's where the squirrels can live in there. That could work. Come on. What about this one that's got that little jinky thing on the top of it?
Oh, that's kind of neat.
Is that got a full tag? Yeah, I like this. It's kind of a jaunty.
I like this one.
Didn't got any tag at all.
Oh.
Is it?
I don't know.
No, somebody's already got it.
This one's on.
Tim, all the good ones are taken.
Oh, no.
We'll find. We got 100 rows.
I get lovely emails and notes and letters and cards from people that will tell me the darndest things about they had this recording or they saw this. One of the most powerful things that ever happened was years ago when I was up doing at the Bangor Mall doing an in-store appearance for some worthy cause, a nonprofit it might have been. And this lovely young lady came up to me at a break and said, when do you get finished here? And I said, about 4 o'clock. And she said, could I come back and just chat with you about something? It's kind of important. I said, sure. And I was finishing up, packing up my stuff, and she showed up, and we went and sat on a bench in the mall. And she said, I just wanted to tell you, she said, and that was the time when I had a lot of TV specials on. And she said, well, I just wanted to tell you this. She said, last winter, she said, my dad was very, very sick. And my dad died of cancer, so I could kind of get the vibe that it was that. And she said he fell into a very deep depression, and we didn't know what to do to get him out of it or anything, and it was very sad. And she said it was the middle of the winter. She said, my mom and I were living in a trailer someplace. She told me where it was. And my mom and I went out shopping, and my dad would just sit catatonic in front of the TV for hours, and it was very sad. She said, we came back into the trailer, and we heard this noise, and it was like somebody was pounding a hammer on the wall. The whole trailer was like kind of shaking. What is going on? The TV was on. Dad was in the living room, and we put the groceries down and walked in, and she said, one of your TV specials was playing. And he was laughing so hard. He was in his, Barker Lounger rocker. He was knocking against the wall. He was rocking back and forth. And then she just said, thank you very much. And then she left. And I thought, don't talk past the close. What's wrong with that? That's a nice thing to be remembered for. And that's really why I like doing the kind of humor I do. I enjoy that. I like that. The idea that I would bring that into the world is okay with me.
Well, and to think about that, what kind of legacy is that? You make people laugh.
Nothing wrong with that. My wife said it's the greenest job in America. So how do you mean? She said, well, the byproduct that you emit into the atmosphere is laughter. And I said, well, yeah, when you think about it.
It's a pretty nice gift to leave people. It is, absolutely. When we come back, how Tim Sample introduced millions of viewers around the nation to Maine and the way life should be. Well, Tim, you've done so much stuff. Albums and books. You sold millions of copies. You've worked with Charles Corral. As a journalist, I can't think of anything more cool than that.
Well, that's something I did not see coming. I was a huge fan of Corral's from day one. And I must also just say Charlie Osgood's a pretty cool guy too. Charlie's a great friend of mine. And then so 1993 in the summer, I get a phone call, and my assistant says, it's Charles Corral on the phone. I go, right, I'm sure. And he wanted to interview me. He was writing this book, Charles Corral's America, and he wanted to interview me about Maine, which he did. And then we talked for a couple of hours, wonderful, took some pictures of each other with each other. And then we're standing on the stoop, and I'll never forget it. He reaches in his rumpled blue blazer, and he digs out a Pall Mall. He lit it up, and he said, I don't suppose you consider coming to work for me at CBS News then. I said, I think I could make time in my busy schedule. So it was just a marvelous experience. And my first postcard from Maine was aired on the network October 26, 1993. Now wait a minute, what's wrong with that? Look, this is going to come down.
This is so
Once
icy.
it gets in the house, listen, pay
I'm
attention.
sorry.
Will you pay attention?
Get yelled at.
This is important.
Okay, I'm listening.
All right, is this got a full tag?
Yes.
See this here? When you get this in a warm house, right, this is going to drop down.
Oh, it'll drop down, it'll fill right out.
It'll fill right out, see? This is what we tell the tourists. It'll fill right out. It'll be great. No, you can eat them 3 hours after they're dead. We can just, not the trees, of course. No, I like this one.
You can saw off as much as you want on the bottom, too.
Well, yeah, you can.
For height-wise.
You can take that off, see? Yeah, I like this one.
This one looks pretty good.
Yes.
Isn't it nice to live in Maine, the home of the Christmas tree?
Yes, it is, exactly. But with this one, it's going to be slaughtered for our pleasure. Huh? We're going to just knock it right down.
Now, Tim, you know what they told me? They said that because it's cold, it'll be easier to cut.
Well, this is the first manual thing I've done in 17 years, so we'll see. We'll see about that. Okay, folks, you're seeing the history in the making. Just straight across. And you want to make sure to get it straight, right? Da, da, da.
Here it goes!
Da, 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 da.
Look at that.
All right, so I keep going, right?
There.
Look at that.
It's beautiful.
Success. I have been tremendously blessed to have such mentors, you know, Stephen King, Marshall Dodge, Noel Paul Stuckey. I mean, sometimes I pinch myself as it's like a Zelig moment. I say, what am I doing in this movie? How am I here? How did I get here?
Well, Tim, I mean, when Stephen King compares you to Mark Twain,
yeah.
I mean, like, that's your resume. It's all you need. Tim Sample, yeah. Stephen King compares you to Mark Twain.
There are a few of those moments where you say, and Steve has always been super supportive of my work from back forever. He's written liner notes and introductions and just given me really wonderful support and advice. But Steve's a classic example. See, he is clearly a genius, a brilliant guy at what he does,
sure.
And super hard working, but he is the last thing. Steve is pretentious. He's Maney to the core, and so is Tabby. I mean, they're like, let's get this done. And if you put a list of people together that Steve has helped, many of them with, you know, not out in public, you know, the authors, the writers, the illustrators that he has given a leg up to, it's a staggering number of people, and that's pretty okay in my book.
Well, he epitomizes Maine as well. I mean,
yeah.
He is Maine.
He is Maine. He absolutely is Maine. Yeah.
And so are LL Bean boots,
oh,
right?
Yeah,
Check these out. We're looking pretty good.
We're here. We're ready for everything. Stop here, go anywhere. Aha!
Look at that, Tim.
Hey.
Nice, Ben.
Slick as
Ben, that's awesome.
Pasta.
Look at that. That'll totally fit in the hatchback.
Perfect.
Because I'm very coordinated, Ben. The guys know, right, guys? Super coordinated.
I think we have.
Sorry.
Would you have some twine? I think if we could just get that. Okay, huh?
Look at
that. Boy, we could pass for people that are handy.
I think we did okay, Tim.
No, not too shabby.
Tim easily proves that laughter is indeed the best medicine. A couple things you might not know about Tim. He's a professional auctioneer, and he's also quite a talented artist. In fact, he has illustrated a lot of his books. He also has a new CD coming out, so make sure you look out for that. For a fun fact, what has been a passion of Tim's for the past 45 years? We'll tell you at the end of the show, but first, she makes it her mission to see that more than 1,000 Maine children in need have gifts under the Christmas tree. We'll meet Kristen Sawyer, a Mainer you should know.